Okay, for our Education in Zion project, we decided to focus on the scripture of Doctrine and Covenants 88:118, which focuses on learning by faith and also by study. And so we have Clark here. He is in an anatomical position. And we're going to put organs on one side and then scripture references that kind of explain the organs or have something to do with it on the other side. And we're going to start with the brain. The brain. Whatsoever things are true, honest, pure, or lovely things, think on these things. Philip 4:8. Addiction to substance like drugs and alcohol and pornography can alter our brain's chemistry. So that's the brain. So make sure that we're always focusing on pure and lovely things and honest things. Okay, the next is the eyes. The eyes. Matthew 6:22. The light of the body is the eye. The human eye contains over 107 million cells that are sensitive to light and capable of sending chemical signals to our brain, allowing us to visualize an image. 7 million cones help us to see color and details, while 100 million cells called rods help us see better in the dark. The next one is the mouth. The mouth, for scripture, we have Matthew 15:11. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth the man. Talking is a uniquely human ability. To make these sounds, humans expel air from their lungs and push it through their larynx, causing vocal cords to vibrate and make sound. This is the same basic apparatus that chimps have: lungs, throat, larynx, tongue, and lips. But humans have evolved a longer throat and smaller mouth, better suited for shaping sound. Interestingly, no two humans have the same voice. This is due to a variety of factors, including vocal cord length, resonating space in the lungs and nasal cavities, and shape of the mouth and tongue. The next one is the ears. The scripture for the ears we are using is Matthew 11:15. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. If you and I will study the scriptures and pray and tune our hearts, we will hear the voice of God and the voice of the people that he has sent to teach and guide us and direct us. And that's a quote from Henry B. Eyring. At birth, the human ear can hear sounds as low as 20 hertz, lower than the lowest note on the piano, and as high as 20,000 hertz. By the time the child reaches their teens, they have lost their ability to hear 20,000 hertz and can only hear as low as 50 hertz without proper care. Hearing loss will continue throughout a lifetime. The next one is the neck. The neck. Now be ye not stiff-necked as your fathers were, but ye yield yourselves unto the Lord, and enter into his sanctuary, which he has sanctified forever. And serve the Lord your God, and that the fierceness of his wrath may turn away from you. Your neck is responsible for the support of your head. Day in and day out, your head can weigh anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds. What's even more interesting is that your shoulders play a great role on the health of your neck. So it's important to relieve tension in your shoulder muscles to relieve your neck. The next organ we're going with is the lungs. And we're using the word of wisdom from Doctrine and Covenants 89:8. Tobacco is not for the body. Tobacco is the single greatest cause of preventable death globally. Long-term exposure to compounds found in cigarette smoke, carbon monoxide and cyanide, are responsible for pulmonary damage and for loss of elasticity in the alveoli, leading to emphysema, shortness of breath, wheezing, persistent cough, chronic bronchitis, and damage to the lungs. Next is the heart. The heart, we use the verse Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinketh in his heart, much like the heart is the symbol of man's will and the source of our emotions. It is the source of the health of our whole body. The heart pumps blood to all other organs in the body, just like an unrighteous lifestyle can make our figurative hearts weak. An unhealthy lifestyle can make our real hearts weak. Obesity and high cholesterol can increase a person's risk for heart disease. The next organ is the liver. From DNC, we pulled from DNC 89:5, "Inasmuch as any man drinketh wine or strong drink among you, behold, it is not good." 80% of alcohol passes through the liver to be detoxified. Chronic consumption of alcohol results in the secretion of pro-inflammatory cytokines, oxidative stress, lipid preoxidation, and other nasty diseases. These factors cause inflammation, apoptosis, and eventually fibrosis of the liver cells. The next organ we have are the bowels, the large and small intestine. The scripture we use is from Colossians 3:12. "Put on, therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering. And he said unto them, Behold, my bowels are filled with compassion towards you." And that's another scripture in 3 Nephi. Our bowels are what we call the small and large intestines. It is the main place of absorption of nutrients in water and during digestion. In fact, in the small intestine, there are villi and microvilli, which, if laid out completely flat, give the equivalent surface area of a basketball court. Now that's a lot of absorption area. Next one we have is the reproductive organs. "The wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband, and likewise also hath the husband hath not power over his own body, but the wife." That's 1 Corinthians 4. And then the Family Proclamation states, "We declare that God's commandments for his children to multiply and replenish the earth remains in force. We further declare that God has commanded that the sacred powers of procreation are to be employed only between man and woman, lawfully wedded as husband and wife. All humans have the ability to reproduce and have children of their own. Our world population continues to increase, and now we have over 7 billion people in the world. In the U.S. alone, there's a baby born every 8 seconds. Next we have bones. From DNC 130:22 reads, "The Father has a body of flesh and bones, as tangible as man's. Bone gives our body structure and allows us to move. Bones consist of about 50% water and 50% solid matter. They are hard and strong and very much alive. The femur bone is stronger than concrete and is easily capable of supporting 30 times its own volume and weight." Next we have are the arms. From DNC 119, we learn, "Man should not trust in the arm of flesh." Contrary to popular belief, the biceps brachii is not the most powerful flexor of the forearm. That title belongs to the brachialis. But the strength of both of these arm muscles is dwarfed when compared to the force generated by the masseter muscle. Guinness Book of World Records lists the strongest bite recorded at 975 pounds for 2 seconds. Next is the hands. From Isaiah 49:16, we read, "Behold, I have engraven thee upon the palms of my hands." Friction ridges, often called fingerprints, are found on the fingers, palms, soles, and toes. These ridges are formed from large folds and valleys of both the dermis and the epidermis. Each individual has a unique pattern of friction ridges, so they can be used as powerful identification tool. Next we have the back. Okay, the back. comes from Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look, not on his own countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I refused him. For the Lord seeth not as a man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. The back has lots of useful abilities to support your spine and to make sure that it can support the weight of the rest of the body. The next we have is the feet. The scripture for the feet is Samuel 2:9. He will keep the feet of the saints. The thick skin of the soles of the feet, also found in the palms of the hands, consists of a thicker epidermis, which is partially attributable to an extra epidermal layer not found in this thin skin, the stratum lucidum. Next we have the legs. In 3 John 1:4 it says, I have no greater joy than to hear my children walk in truth. The average moderately active person takes about 7,500 steps a day. Assuming every day the person walks, an 80-year-old person who began walking at the age of 1 would have taken 216,262,500 steps in their lifetime. Getting up and using your legs is very good for your health. Walking reduces the risk of heart attack, developing type 2 diabetes, chronic medical problems, and hundreds of other medical conditions. And last but not least, we have the blood. In Leviticus 17:11, it says, For the life of the flesh is in the blood. Blood is a specialized liquid connective tissue in animals that delivers substance required for life, such as nutrients and oxygen, to the cells and transports toxic metabolic waste products away from those same cells. The blood is really the life of the flesh. And that is our presentation for Education in Science. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about our physical bodies, and we also learned spiritually how to edify our spiritual bodies, that we can become fully edify our soul, which is body and spirit.